jumping into a draft. Unfortunately, it seems like it is mostly completed.
Oh no,
I know,
not
we've missed much of
again.
it. That's all right. Let's take a look at what we got. Oh, this is the 5-rat 4-staff team. Good game to watch. This is
Nice.
what's their team name? Good Gracious, maybe? Is that them? A lot of teams.
Yeah.
A lot of team changes. All right. Scourge has Sakuchi Overload Static Remnant. That looks pretty sick. Lich with Geminate attack. Unfortunately, no plus damage on Lich like there used to be. Elder Dragon Form Blur. Kind of goofy. Weaver has Vortex Dragon Tail Aether Remnant. A lot of stuns. Stuns are good. And then Albino Zebra with the Rocket Barrage Homing Missile Orb. That looks good. Gyro's build here. Living Armor, Sinister Gaze, Stroke. Everybody on the Radiant side, weird stuff. Maybe it's good, but it doesn't look very cohesive to me. Dire side, however, Flat Clan and Coup de Grace, excellent shit. I like that.
Does that work with melee? Because he also has the Phantom Strike for the bonus attack speed.
Well,
so does it create an AOE?
Does what the are you
does
talking?
the flat cannon the radius? It's
So
1,000, right?
yeah, the flat cannon radius of flat cannon will always be the same, and you can dump them out faster with the attack speed from Phantom Strike. And when you get Ags, you'll get Side Gunner on flat cannon. That's the crucial thing. So he's gonna have once he buys Ags, he'll have extra attacks from Coup de Grace if he wants it. I think those will be normal gyro range.
Okay.
Of distance, but I might be wrong on that. Tinker has Nature's Grasp Rearm. It's okay. Not the worst. And he's playing Tinker, which makes it better because he's going to have cooldown reduction on Keen Conveyance, so that's kind of cool. Void Spirit, Dagger, Rift, Call Down. I don't know what the fuck's going on over there. Grimstroke has Phase Shift Shard, I always forget about, does an AoE attack. But he's got Phantom Embrace, Inkswell, Astral Step, so it's kind of goofy. All these builds look real fucking weird to me. Am I crazy? I don't see Lich can attack without deactivating Blur. Oh, okay.
I think that there were a lot of builds that were trying to counter out what the enemy team was doing. Like I was thinking about the Chain Frost paired together with Soulbind, but they stole that one away, so they couldn't get the Chain Frost with it too.
That makes sense. I could see that. I mean, Soulbind Missile is pretty good too, if you think about it.
Yeah.
I think, is it when the missile hits? It's probably like Lincoln's, right?
I think it is.
So,
I think it is.
I mean, Chain Frost instantly goes. It might work right away.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
but Chain Frost is, I don't know. It's a weird one. Because Chain Frost also instantly procs Lincoln's.
I mean, it does. It might go right away. It's when it hits someone saying in chat. Okay. If that's the case, it's pretty cool. The downside, though, is that it would be so much better if it just instantly did it, because then you get them going in the same time to Rocket Barrage, but you have a much better chance of like getting more homing missile value. Although there's a better chance.
And you can also do the shard.
Yeah. So they'll help Rocket with it. It'll be really good.
Okay.
It's still a good build. He's got mobility with Illusion Orb, so like he'll be able to like do cheesy Rocket Barrage stuff. It'll help make up for his model sucking, although his int gain is atrocious, so he might struggle there a little bit, but I think he'll be fine.
Do you think it's worth it to go Aghanims for the Dark Portrait in this game? I guess it depends on who he's up against.
Do you buy it on the same person?
Yeah.
It could be good. I mean, you could get two of them in the first place. PA is going to have a natural crit, so that's kind of good, I guess. I don't know if I would rush it by any means. Like, he's going to have other priorities without a doubt.
Okay.
He's going to want, like, Veil, maybe some Spell Amp. Like, getting the Ags is probably, like, a side thing that could happen, but... All right, any other builds that look cool? What am I missing here? Tree's abilities are generally just solid. They just don't necessarily combo in like really creative ways, I guess. But Frost Shield, Breathe Fire is kind of cool. They cover each other a little bit. Leech Seed heals as well. Chain Frost is a good spell, but there aren't like the most insane combos.
No,
I don't think.
I do like Tree just in general as a base model, and I think pairing it with Leech Seed, he's going to do a ton in the laning stage and be super annoying to deal with, I think.
Yeah, and it looks like he's going to be playing support, so with his boot start is my hunch. The bear builds, truly don't know what's going on with that. Am I missing something?
Aghanim seems okay. I mean, I think it's just you get to play as Lone Druid, but then you also can get the upgraded Ags and have Waning Rift.
But it's going to be just so much worse than regular, though. Because...
Yeah.
His bear doesn't have 64 attack speed. Like, okay, losing the lifesteal not the end of the world, but like just losing this basically means that like putting items on the bear is just not going to feel very good in my mind. Like,
yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know, if you could like put a fucking meteor hammer on him or something. Is that crazy? Like, I could see that working, maybe. Like, go split push kind of a thing while you do some other shit. But putting damage items on the bear, I feel like isn't going to be very good.
I mean, he still has Demolish, so that still is going to be, like, kind of a crazy combo.
Okay,
right?
yeah. He'll do, like, good tower damage. I agree.
Yeah.
But the better bear is going to be Dragon Knight this game. He's got true form.
Yes.
He's going to get 12 armor, 1500 HP, and, like, 30 magic resist. He's like a melee Dragon Knight, basically.
Right. And I think that's probably part of the reason that they stole it away. That I don't know where Savage Roar is. I feel like he definitely should have gotten Savage Roar if he could. Because I think that's a huge part of having the bear. You really need that ability. Maybe it doesn't work and it's bugged or something.
I think it probably works. The problem is you need both. I guess level 1, like if you think about it as a laning ability, I guess the bear is really good. And that's what he's doing here. Because like, look at this. As a support, he's just running at him with a bear, and he has more damage than a normal lone druid. Because normal lone druid's doing like, this guy bought a lot of stat items.
Farming.
Yeah, exactly. So he just runs the bear at them to fight. So from a laning perspective, this looks good.
Okay.
Later on, maybe not so good. But laning perspective, definitely solid. And yeah, he could always put a radiance on it or something.
Ward with it? Probably.
He can what with it?
Ward with it, probably.
Probably?
I think you can.
Probably? Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right.
Sounds nice. He just can't attack with the bear proximity thing. He could even like stack with it if he wanted to.
Only in proximity. Can you aggro daytime? I guess you can without them attacking you, but not nighttime. You wouldn't.
No, nighttime they won't wake up. Okay.
All right, so
cool.
it is a Lich carry, by the way.
Nice.
With so yeah, his point, the point the guy in chat pointed out was Elder Dragon form ranged increases your attack range, and he's gonna have Geminate, which is amazing. And he's gonna have attack speed from Spirit Link. He doesn't get the lifesteal because it would have to be his summons healing back to him, but still attack speed, which is gonna make up for Lich having bad agility. So he's basically sacrificing skill points to make up for his hero's base model. But the upside is that he can be blurred, and he can now attack invisible from range, which is cool. I would not have figured that one out because you have to be what's the vanish radiance? It's pretty close, right?
600.
That's what it says. Oh, is it based? Did they change it so it's based on your attack or something?
I don't know.
It must be that because normally on a PA you have to be in like melee range, right? So they must have changed it to they must have changed it so that the radius is the same as your attack range because it would have been broken on any ranged hero, right?
Yeah.
Because you just blur and then attack without being targetable.
I think 600 range is not. I mean, it is pretty big.
It's 600 fixed.
Yeah,
Somebody
feel like
says
it's like 400. All right. Well, that's still so he has what 550 attack range. So if he gets like one other thing, then he's still going to be
his
about
ultimate.
There.
His ultimate's going to give him 350.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So when he ulties, he'll still be invis when he's attacking. So I think his build's actually okay as long as his laning stage goes okay and he has like net worth advantage. I think it's going to be totally fine.
And the other thing is that you already want to go Ags because of Dragon Form. So he's going to have Blur Ags with it too.
True. 10-second cooldown. And it goes on... Not that it's that good. It's...
you get a Dispel. That's the part about it.
Okay. Yeah, I guess an Ags for a Dispel isn't terrible, but it's kind of a shit. There's nothing that he really needs to put on cooldown other than Blur. I mean, Geminate is okay. Obviously, if he gets a kill, he gets Geminate back, but it's coming back in 3 seconds anyways.
Wait. Does it... That refreshes Elder Dragon form if he gets a kill. I think. I'm pretty sure it does. Because there's no... Oh, wait, no. Only non-ultimate spells will refresh. Never mind. All right,
yeah, I was going to say, that would be like way too good. Way too fucking good. Just be like Laguna Blade every single hero or something, or like drop the golem 5 times just because you happen to get kills. Like, it'd be fun, but...
Yeah. Okay. Anything else? The overload builds are always somewhat interesting with Sakuchi on a kind of low cooldown and then Static Remnant. It's pretty decent. So it's like a little bit more often than Storm normally gets it, with the exception of his ulti, obviously. But Lil Nick takes him down. Bearman gone.
All right, I'm gonna put my map screen mid lane. 1 second. Somebody's asking tech support, of course.
Oh no. Do you have the command console for smooth
No,
camera stuff?
I didn't turn it on. Why don't I'll just camera lock like Dragon Knight or something.
Here, I'll send you the console if you want.
No, that's okay. This is fine for now.
Okay. Fair enough. Speed playing in mid. And they did get that other kill. Who's that on? On this gyrocopter. But as far as mid goes, Speed should be able to play pretty far forward. He's playing against Laser. And that does have the warp flare attached to it too. Actually, there might be a rearm that has it attached. Yeah, it's attached to rearm. So that could be an interesting option that he goes for eventually, but just tries to assimilate and get up close. Some pretty good damage onto Speed, actually. He has to back out. It is super annoying to deal with. Is he dead? He has another dissimilate here in a second. I swear, this Tinker is like really giving him trouble. Even though the CS is pretty even, it feels like he could die at a moment's notice.
Yeah, it's a downside of being the melee, but I'm sure Speed is going to be able to balance the regen stuff as needed. And he's still able to get last hits with Sakuchi and Static Remnant, so...
Yeah. Getting close. Have you solved the tech issues? No? Okay. That's fair.
Partially, not really, but we're working on it. Can you check if rules state 15 minutes for new lobby? Sounds like they didn't join the new lobby in time. They said rules state 15 minutes, but the tournament design was set to 5 maybe, so it auto disqualified. And it was... Where's the team?
Oh, okay. Got it.
This team.
It's always so tough to get that stuff working. With so many people playing, there's
Yeah.
always going to be some tech issues.
There's just like a million settings that you set up when you make a tournament is all. And I did some of the settings, but Faceit does some of the settings. And I'm not exactly the most organized person, so it easily could have been my fault. You know, stuff like that.
No problemo.
So,
I'll just keep chatting about the game and stuff.
It's fine. How's this bear doing? That's what I want to know.
Oh,
shit, it got a root.
Earlier. Get him! Look at him!
Dude,
oh,
the bear
that bear
is
got
so
that
broken.
kill. So strong. Another root.
I've
Does
never
that keep his buddy alive.
I've never thought about this as like a laning ability, but it seems to be working pretty fucking good for that.
I think that this rotation, though, they're in some bad ways. Does get the jump away. Still sitting there with the Dragon Blood and 7 stick charges. Speed on top of him, under the tower. Pop stick. Tries to live. Oh my god, that orb just barely made it through. Didn't quite get him in time. And I thought the Tinker would make the rotation earlier, but it takes a while before that TP comes up top. So
You know what I need to do? I need to turn on that setting where the FPS doesn't drop when you alt tab. I think that seems like I don't know that one. That's okay.
Let me
though.
see if I can find it.
I think it's in options.
There's one that's play sound when you're alt tabbed.
Yeah, that's not the one.
Drop when alt tabbed. I'll find it for you. I think there you go. Here, I got it. Engine no focus sleep.
Yep, that's the
Just
one.
put it into Discord.
Oh, you have to put in console.
Yeah. I think that should work. Oh god.
Let's see.
Oh wait, no, you're still on the mid. Yeah, up top there. They go in.
Oh,
Run
we're,
away!
We're pro observers over here, totally.
Such a pro observer. Love to see it. Live in armor. Tries to keep him alive a bit longer. Dog Siskel will survive. Big plays. Did you get it working?
I mean, the no sleep?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's working. Thank you.
Nice. Cool. Interesting. Well, already queuing up the shard on the lone druid without his bear. Well, the bear up top is trying to deal with this
I was so
constant
confused.
pressure.
I was like, what? He doesn't have a shard. You mean the lone druid hero? I understand now.
Yes.
The shard, very important.
Yeah, he's trying to get to it, but it's going to be a little bit. He's just getting some free time for himself, and obviously a 15-minute. But up top, more action coming out. Well, mid lane, they're just pressuring that tower, trying to pull the creep wave over. The tower is tearing apart those creeps. Oh man, there it is. That's the one. They run on in. Speed tries to find somebody. Xeon getting brought down low. Couple more hits is all they need, and with Little Nick zipping on in, ball lightning into Dragon Tail. What the turnaround? Oh my god!
Holy shit, dude,
Giga
that was.
Shell.
It looked so good, and then all of a sudden this damage came out, dude. It's the feared Blink Dagger Tinker timing. It's like once it comes out, shit gets really scary, and holy fuck that AoE.
That was crazy.
They were abusing Sikuchi so aggressively, but eventually it cost them too much. Maybe kicking himself for not having True Form here. If he just had 1 point in True Form, he's got like 500 extra health to tank that damage when he gets aggressive, so.
Yeah, it's the constant battle, right, of needing all of the different things. Dude, Frost Shield and Leech Seed, that ability is super broken. And then also they reduce the damage with Breathe Fire. Like, he is tanking through so much right now on this tree.
I mean, Speed doesn't have that much damage. It's mostly about the spells, which is why he leveled up Overload, because he's like, oh, I want to farm faster. Which I totally get, because every single time he casts a spell, he's getting the Overload damage. Yeah, I think this is the right choice. He needs one True Form. For sure. That way, when he goes into these team fights, he has a better chance of surviving. He's going to go for a Spirit Vessel build, which is excellent. Very smart choice. Because he needs the ability to scale his damage better. Because Sikuchi damage, Overload, Static Remnant, it's not going to get any higher as the game goes on. So having Vessel would go a little ways. But I like that he transitioned from basically mid to like now pressuring the map. Because he doesn't need to sit mid and keep farming. He needs to go to these side lanes and make it really hard for his opponents to farm. It's a good choice.
I'm a little concerned about Gazaya on this PA. She's going for the Battle Fury, and I get the idea of liking that, but I feel like it comes on so slow, and afterwards you're probably still gonna want the Aghanims.
Yeah, he just switched his item build. I get his point though. Like if he buys Ags, it's slightly bad. Because he's already got attack speed from Phantom Strike, so increasing his attack speed by like an Ags version is not that important. Like it doesn't really do that much. So he's thinking like, okay, well if I have Phantom Strike, I need more farm speed. But then he also thought like, wait, if I've got Flat Cannon, I don't need Battle Fury, which is also correct.
Right.
So instead he's now going for an Orchid, which is a good choice.
Okay. Xeon down bottom. He's in some trouble here, and I think they will be able to just... Oh, wait a minute. No, they turn it again. Dude, the freaking Phantom's Embrace is like the most annoying spell in the world. I hate that spell.
Did they Phantom's Inkswell or something? I missed it, sorry.
It was Phantom's onto speed when he was trying to dive him. So the Sikuchi, you know,
ends up getting
everything.
Hits him with it. Yeah. Okay, gotcha. One announcement though. The rules. The problem that we just had was that the rules said that there's a 15-minute delay after lobby begins before you have to join. Unfortunately, it's set to 5 minutes accidentally, and it's impossible to change that once the tournament starts. So that means for the rest of the tournament, it's 5 minutes between lobbies. So I hope you guys can pee fast. Unfortunately, you can't just let your drafter draft, because you actually have to be there to click your skills. So this is unfortunate, but for the rest of the tournament, that's going to be the case. So please disseminate that information to all of your favorite streamers. And then maybe in a break I'll change the rules. Yep. Just pee yourself. Pee your pants, dude. Pee in a bottle.
There you go.
Fucking TI winners can do it. You can do it too.
They zip on it and get the stun. Oh, the rundown. Dude, this is what I'm talking about. Look at how strong this is.
I missed it. What was I missing?
He does get punished down bottom. He got ganked by 2 heroes and then like Astral Step, Phantom's Embrace. Now Phase Shift. In trouble. But
was close.
Almost enough.
That was so close.
Wait, find speed? Nice, he's fine, surely. And in fact, he might just try and play himself in a bit further.
It's hard with the laser, because he can't proc Overload anymore. Maybe he's going to ulti
over here.
I don't know. I'm surprised he hasn't ultied.
Yeah,
they want it so bad.
With the laser, they got him.
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe he should have ultied there. It would have helped with a little bit of HP, but the magic resistance might have helped too. But either way, it did create some space, which is good. But who's he farming for? What are they aiming for? The Lich? Lich has Midas. He's currently jungling. Not that quickly because he just has Geminate. He also has no sustain. because he doesn't have lifesteal from Spirit Link, so he's got something going, but I don't quite believe in this Lich build just yet. But so Might is good to increase his ulti levels. Once he gets level 2 ulti, at least then he'll have AoE. So he'll get somewhere, but for now, clearly the Dire team has a lot of momentum. I missed it again.
And Lil Nick goes down. Poor guy.
Oh, duh, he's using Astral Step. I was like, huh, this build doesn't look that amazing. That's why. Ink Swelling, Astral Stepping in, then Silences. Yeah. So it's just a shitload of damage plus Silence combo. Makes sense.
Yeah.
That is a
and
really
then
cool
he can
build.
also like get himself out of harm's way with the phase shift, and eventually might even go in for a shard to get that right click out like you're talking about.
I actually can't believe Albino Zebra doesn't have Overgrowth. Surely it's worth the skill point.
I mean, you'd think so.
Maybe even a Sinister Gaze, but I don't know. Clearly worried about defending their towers, I guess, and also doing damage.
Which does kind of make sense. Speed gets ran at there. Lil Nick trying to get out of harm's way too. And yeah, they're just going to throw in the call down to try and force back everybody else. Speed goes into true form now.
Good choice. He's tanky.
So,
oh, we got a root.
That's some pretty good damage. The bear on bear comes out again. Scourge McDuck popping ulti. Needs to back away because as soon as they spot him, they jump in, do a ton of damage to that Dragon Knight form hero.
It's working.
They kill him. Okay, Lil Nick in trouble, and he gets dropped too.
Okay, dude, the invisible bear with electric hands is the spookiest thing I could ever imagine. He's got like 3 different elemental powers. Just gets absolutely demolished here. Kind of a
too. What a weird game.
It's a very weird game. Dude, ability draft is so fun. Let's draft. I didn't even see what happened with Lich.
He was the Dragon Knight form hero. So he was the dragon that got jumped on by the Grimstroke? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The hero with Astral Step.
I didn't even see it. I legit don't remember even seeing a Dragon Knight there. I was just focused on the bear zipping around, like tanking everything. It was like a huge amount of survivability. He does have Spirit Vessel coming, I believe now. Yep. All right.
So that is, I think, pretty necessary because they're about to have mech done. And I think that the combo of like Leech Seed with mech, like having a Frost Shield, all the damage mitigation that they've got, it's maybe going to become a bit of an issue. They're going to run out of damage, I think, on Radiant.
They definitely could. It's up to Lich, basically. Yeah, he's going to go Ags after his Hand of Midas here. He's going to continue to stack. He basically just needs his teammates to start a lot of fights for him until he gets his items. Like, he just needs to go hit creeps for a long time until he's ready. Good stun.
Zip in. That's a great target to get. And yeah, the Soulbind combos together for that one perfectly. That's the hero they have to get at the start.
Here's the downside to the bear, though. He's given a lot of gold extra every time he dies. His silence was excellent there against the Lil Nick to stop the follow-up, but it was just too much heat coming in. And now they're leveling up Homing Missile, finally, to lower the cooldown to get more of those Rocket Barrage nukes out.
Yeah.
So, getting closer to a better place.
The Soulbind with it looked pretty good there, and also just the ability to keep people under control because you really need it. Oh, another zip in. Finds the Tinker. And the Remnant down. Chase through. No, they won't be able to get him yet. Speed keeps going in.
Ooh,
And
they
never
get him.
mind, they do. Tinker dead. Okay. Trying to make something happen with that Orchid on his speed, but there isn't really a good counterplay. Rockets go out. Gonna connect, find that PA, and PA down low dead. They keep jumping in and throwing out stifling daggers, trying to do what damage they can, but DK is still very tanky in the true form.
So tanky. 33 magic resistance. Albino Zebra probably gonna die though finally, but yeah. True form's paying off so much. Look how much space it makes for those rockets, dude.
Yeah, it's true. They're so focused on trying to kill him, and Doggle is just like throwing out spam after spam after spam. He will finally TP out of there, and Speed just walks away in the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they don't have the control.
It's hard. I mean, his max movement speed, he's a strength hero, so he's really tanky. Then he gets true form, which is 1,000 HP, 10 armor, 33% magic resistance. He's like basically unkillable, and which is perfect with his build because he's got full mobility. He's got damage just by staying alive, lots of damage just by staying alive. So he's just carrying his team right now while Lich continues to hit creeps. Lich has only been in 2 kills so far. Just over here auto-attacking constantly.
I think they need to bust out the Atos. The Orchids are good, but I think Atos is what they need in a way. I don't know.
Wow, that was so much damage actually.
Into the shadows with you.
He went the Ink Swell cooldown over Phantom's Embrace, which makes some sense. He's got good mobility, so he wants that lower. He's gonna get Shard next. That was kind of crazy how good that was. Jumps in, he phase shifts after he goes in. Ink Swell still pops and does damage while he's there. So that was cool. So he basically gets to protect his Ink Swell every single time without getting killed himself. And now they're gonna go for a fight top, smoking top.
This one's still so close. The problem is if they kill Speed, I think that they need that Orchid out like immediately, and they just can't get the jump on him. It's so hard to fight this guy. Wait a minute, mid? They go in again? Find little Nick. Damage! Oh, it's enough. Just barely.
He did go forward though.
Yeah, he used the Astral Step offensively and still has a buddy nearby, so that'll keep him alive. Well, Lich is now got Aghanim Scepter completed. So do have the upgraded
Frost.
level 3 form.
Still terrible armor. His attack speed is fine, and he can definitely do some blur shenanigans. But he still needs like at least one more item until he's ready, and he's gonna queue up a BKB, which is probably the right choice. Because he's just a little too vulnerable if they get on him. He's gonna need the ability to get out.
Also has Grove Bow. So how do they reveal him? Do they have any heroes that it probably has to be the Grimstroke that does it, and well, Grimstroke's caught for the moment. Astral Step, dodge away. Damage onto Speed, good bouncing of the Chain Frost. And it looks like Albino Zebra gets a pretty good overgrowth out. Tries to get out of there. Speed still under control. Silence. They don't have the damage. They're focusing on too many targets. But they do get 2 kills nonetheless. Lift. Try and get away. Astral Step in.
The bounties.
And the Phantom's Embrace.
I would have died for the bounties.
A second too late. Speed in trouble. And Ghost Scepter out. Brought down low.
Oh my god.
Living? Dude, 39 HP. They try and hunt. Dagger out. Oh, they lose vision.
Oh my god, he lived.
Oh,
he's got one Astral Step. Can't get him.
Chasing. Can't get him.
Holy crap, dude. I was like, all right, how has nobody grabbed a bounty? Like, you're going to kill him. It's fine. Take the bounties, you know?
Yeah.
I would have actually died for the bounties. Yeah. Yeah. But he lived.
True.
He lived by skipping the bounties. I've never seen somebody skip 2 bounties and make the right choice before, but holy shit. He lives.
Little Nick. He got his regen broken. That's so sad.
That is a bummer. I'm surprised he hasn't gotten at least 1 Vortex yet. That seems like a mistake to me.
That's a good point.
Even like 1 over like a Dragon Tail. I guess it's probably because he's really mana limited. I mean, he's got Ball Lightning, right? So he's got to rely on Ball Lightning to initiate because his hero's so bad.
True.
One of the weaker base models, but I feel like 1 would have been okay. Get some like triple chain stun type thing. You can spend the 60 mana for that. It's fine though.
Well, he's got it now, so
yeah,
we'll see.
He'll have AoE Electric Vortex. Oh, definitely. Yeah, he's queuing it up. You can't pass up Electric Vortex Ag, surely. Like an AoE if you're a support. That just seems too good to pass up. Let's see, is Lich hitting creeps? Confirmed. Lich is still hitting creeps.
How many last hits? He's actually behind the PA in terms of last hits.
But his network is ahead. Finally.
Yeah. Mid. Good damage out. That is a great kill to get at the start.
Oh, the missile jumped. Oh, this is good.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look at this freaking Lich. When you're free to just start punching away, this is the impending doom that's coming out. And going in for the freaking Roche right now.
Might as well.
So much of the team fight of Dire is all based around this Grimstroke, I think. Wait, they caught him?
Oh, maybe not.
Little Nick in there. Xeon is in trouble. No, they're just all going to die. Every single one of them. Tinker got to the far side, but no, he is also going to go down.
Yeah, he was actually completely screwed. He got hit by the Dragonite passive, so he couldn't blink for like 8 seconds there. No salvation for him. And maybe PA in trouble?
I think if they dive too deep, they're going to get punished. Pops the BKB, looking for the fight now. And yeah, I think they maybe should have just gone to finish Roche. Speed, he could still be in some trouble with Grimstroke respawning. They're looking for him. Astral step in, goes into the true
Good
form,
ulti.
but the E-Blade out. Little Nick, phase shift, dodge, stun, immediately to turn it. Little Nick gets
Good save
silenced, and yeah, he
That was
goes
great.
down.
I mean, saving speed definitely worth it. I think he was killable there, considering he was getting re-silenced repeatedly. And Grimstroke's damage must be very high. He's been doing a really good job. This Capolia player, is that how you say it? I don't know.
Yeah, sure. I don't know.
Could just be his temporary Steam name, you know?
What is it again?
The Grimstroke player.
Yeah.
Capolia.
Capulia.
Capolia.
I think it has something to do with Kappa, right? Maybe.
Invisible dragon, dude. Just jungles and doesn't need sustain anymore when the creeps can't hit him.
Dude, it is. I mean, when he gets level 18 too, this is going to be very scary.
Just an invisible black dragon. Lich black dragon. I hear that's a big deal in D&D, so you guys should be extra scared.
Oh, it's a good point. Oh, right, yeah. That is a good point. I forgot about that. Dude, he just gets to keep Grove Bow too. I wonder if he goes Dragonlance after. Lil Nick silenced immediately. They try and turn this now. Grimstroke, Overgrowth, Speed doing some good damage onto
Scourge's
him.
kinda
Scourgement
close.
Deck running in. They get another stun onto Capulia. Astral Step runs forward, finds one.
Okay.
But they will bring down Xeon.
Yeah, the missile is just so good, damage-wise. Speed's doing a nice job, like being the aggressive guy. Wants to run uphill, but it's too hard. Yeah, he definitely needed Yules this game. This is a good choice. Just want to call out the person in Twitch chat that was making fun of him for that. You were wrong.
Love that. It's always good to call out Twitch chat.
Big
That's
catch
a huge
there.
kill. God,
Huge
I
kill.
can't believe you bought this Yules.
Yeah. If he bought a BKB, he would have lived. Maybe. I mean, he has to frontline like this. I think his items are solid. Spell Amp increase, Spirit Vessel. It's tough to, like, know when to use the ulti, maybe. I don't know. Maybe he should just popped it earlier. Run in with it. But they're fishing for fights and good opportunities. Nick, only big mistake, maybe. Not a big mistake, small mistake. Nick balled a little bit too far, so he had to turn to cast his spells. That's one downside to his abilities. So he has to then turn his hero to Dragon Tail or Electric Vortex, maybe. So that kind of hurt him.
So, can I just say that late game PA to me is one of the more annoying carries to play, not just because of coup de grace, but because it's so hard to find her in the fights, and the only time she reveals is when it feels like you're about to get blown up and exploded. Now, if you're having to deal with a ranged hero hitting you, I don't even know if you can probably see where the projectiles are coming from, I'm guessing. Although they're a little bit, I think, less noticeable when he's in tier 4 dragon form, because they're like these like dark matter blobs shooting at you.
Yeah, definitely better.
So I don't know how this is gonna work. Like, they obviously, if PA can jump on him, it's great because you've got Orchid, you've got tons of damage with coup de grace, Basher, but they need to find him, and that feels like that's what the next couple of minutes are going to be looking at.
I agree that's important, but I'm just not really worried about his damage still. He's finished Ags. He bought a Morbid Mask for some sustain because that was one of his issues in the last fight. Now he's queuing up Satanic, but he still hasn't bought a damage item.
Yeah.
Satanic's to be 38. Woo, you know? He's got Intreads. He's got a Grove Bow. But, like, I feel like he needs to buy, like, a Crystallis or something. Or a Deso or something like that. Like, I don't know. Or even, like, a Maelstrom would have been okay. Maybe he should have bought a Maelstrom earlier. He should have gone, like, Midas Maelstrom is, like, the standard ranged farming thing. Like, I think that actually is a bit of an item build mistake for him. Maybe Maelstrom and then buy Ags and then buy BKB would have been better.
I mean, he does have really good stats. As up top, they're going to find Nick. In terms of his in-game, 3.6 is, like, I think a lot in terms of
it's pretty good.
Like, his damage.
Yeah, it's really good.
140. So it is kind of middling, I would agree.
Yeah, but if he had a worse end game, he'd have like 20 less damage right now. You know, that's not the same as like buying a 40 damage item that doesn't cost that much. Like he could have fit one of those items in, and Maelstrom would give him certainly a lot in terms of farm potential. Like farm potential for sure. You're geminating on every attack. Like he's relying too much on his ulti, I think, and not enough on recognizing that his like right click is just not good enough. He has 60. He even has 60 attack speed from Spirit Link from his other abilities. So like. He's just, like, watching him jungle is just inefficient. He needs a Maelstrom here. or some
why I
damage
bought the
item.
Midas.
Why not both?
It's true. He's gonna have Satanic soon, like you're talking about, which is not a huge damage item again. And I do kind of wonder if these fights wear on, if they're eventually just going to be able to take it out. The sort of upside right now for Radiant is that they still have their tier 1 tower mid alive. This tree armor has been super annoying to play against.
And he maxed it early, right? He even gave up overgrowth until level 8 to opt for that early living armor. He's got a good hero model for this. Gyrocopter, lots of HP.
Oh. And look at the Ags build he's going to get out of this.
Ooh, that's quite good. Eyes in the Forest and Sinister Gaze. Yeah, he'll be able to abuse that really nicely.
Yeah, because I think Sinister Gaze, you can also cast other abilities with it while it's going.
That is right, yep. So not the most broken with him compared to like your Chain Frost type stuff, but still a really nice Ags to just get. AoE stun is incredible at later stages of the fight. You can walk in after BKBs are gone. Just AoE stun everybody for like 3 seconds. That wins engagements, no doubt. They're going in now.
Rearm Hex is still very good as Doggy is going to die, and they try and control little Nick, but Tinker runs out of the mana pool and can't do anything else.
Yeah, very easy kill.
The Roche.
Yeah, basically this Grimstroke build basically makes every hero on the Radiant team need a Eul's or a Glimmer or a Force or something, because he just gets on you, and you can't survive it.
All right.
They might fight this though. I mean, they could put an Eyes of the Force down, get Vision of Roche, but it just is over probably.
He gets jumped on, tries to turn to get out of there. Buyback from the lone Druid. Hasn't popped Blur, so still just hitting from far range.
The laser bounce.
This Frost Armor is doing everything. They run in Little Nick. He's able to get the Aegis. And now Speed trying to survive through this. The damage coming out from Scourge McDuck, burning through the PA. But the jump out comes in time.
The attacking,
turning, punching, killing, doing way too much.
Okay, it's working.
Way too much.
All right, he didn't need damage. It fucking worked. Get his team in there, land their disables, and he just sits there slowing everybody constantly. AoE slow with damage over time. It functioned. His team just ran at them effectively, and he just got to hit them the whole fucking time. The only downside was that laser bounce. The laser bounced on the Tinker right at the start of the fight because of the Ags. But Scourge, being a very good player, saw the debuff. It's like, I'm not hitting, instantly pop Satanic to remove it. If he didn't do that right away, and if he lost like 3 seconds of attacking, maybe the fight's different, but it worked out.
The other thing that we saw there that was like super value was the Frost Shield. It did so much work in the first instances of just shutting down the damage that was coming from the Lich.
Gotcha.
But then as soon as that ran out, it wasn't on the tree anymore, and it was just free hitting the PA. That's where it all fell apart, because he doesn't have the evasion, right? Like the PA normally relies upon that to stay alive, and instead is having to rely on Dragon's Blood in this game.
Which is fine, but yeah, it's not. The evasion is pretty incredible for what it gives you, really. Continues to scale, basically, right? If they don't get True Strike, no matter how much damage they are, it's still like blocking 50% of their attacks. And he would have had the talents as well. The blur talent could have been really sick this game. But, so yeah. Lich now finally going damage. Crystallis is picked up, and Daedalus after, and then Moonshards. So yeah, I think this is a good window for the Radiant squad now, for where Lich is finally so far ahead.
They got a pull there onto Void Spirit, the turn with the Orchid. Soulbind onto 2, missiles going out, and Speed right on top of him.
Dude.
Fan of Knives looking to turn this. I mean, Scourge McDuck's just running in. They can't even see him. They just know that he is killing them. And now the Sinister Gaze. I don't know if they can come back from this late game. This is too much.
Yeah,
like,
and he can walk anywhere too. Like, he's just flying over trees. As long as his team is running at them and has the vision advantage, it's perfect for them. And it works out nicely, right? They're like linked. Little Nick can jump in. Speed is always in melee range, basically giving vision. So it just creates so much space for Scourge McDuck to like hit whoever he wants to here. He's even going to cut the creep wave. This is a great way to accelerate the game just a little bit. Takes a moment of his time, but easily pushes out the bot lane without too much effort. It just seems like it gets easier from here on out with Eyes of the Forest and all these creeps. They're going to have vision advantage. Like, everything looks good.
This was... I think that this is one of those types of builds that they identified. If we get late game with Lich, if we get late game with, you know, all these heroes, we're eventually going to be able to just scale and do everything that we need to, and then they just get, like, tree armor. And it's like, all right, that's happening now. Although, you know, Grim doing what he can to try and make him work for it. It just feels like it's a drop in the bucket, though.
Yeah,
Oh
but
my god.
they did get they got one or return kill at least, and they've got the extra Phantom talent too. So, and Grimstroke's got talents on all of his abilities, so it's sitting pretty good. It's just yeah, they've got ways to save each other. Do they have force staffs or anything? Let's see what Gyro has. Just Glimmer and armor. It's a good example of that.
Oh.
A lot of damage.
Albino Zebra goes down. All right.
Yeah, they jumped him with basically just PA did most of that, and then Tinker comes in to clean.
Scourge McDuck. He's hiding away. Oh, he gets into the right form, and they see him now, and the laser
Can't
comes
hit.
out. Okay. They need to keep vision. They got to keep going with this. Oh, they just don't have what it takes. They needed to chase right there. They needed that kill on Scourge McDuck so bad.
All right, now they're turning.
And now they are all going to pay for their insolence. Oh,
a lot of black
God,
things flying
dude.
through the air. A lot of black attacks coming from the dragon.
Oh, jeez. Dude, look at this. Look at him. He's just hidden from the other freaking side. They can't get away. They can't even see him. Oh, my God.
All right, it's
Yeah,
working.
that feels bad.
The
Look at
MMR
the
is
Yules.
showing.
Yeah.
Their builds are pretty solid this game. There's maybe some small weaknesses here and there, but as a whole, really solid drafting by the Radiant squad. Pretty cool. All right, yeah, this game is looking completely over now. I just don't see like the PA outputting enough carry potential to win this one. I don't think the Orchid was necessarily a bad build. Like Speed created so much space this game. Like he was definitely MVP, right?
Oh, yeah.
Just like did well mid and then was constantly pressuring enemy heroes, forcing them to use spells on him. He did not die that many times and protect himself with just a Yule Scepter. So that was pretty impressive. And then, yeah, Scourge McDuck did the carry thing. He hit creeps for literally 30 minutes until his build became strong. And it was very strong when it got there. But the first 30 minutes
Yeah.
a little finicky, but it worked out.
I will give a little shout out to Doggy, even though he died 7 times in this one. I think that the rocket barrage homing missile combo with Soulbind
cool.
was pretty annoying to like get like that combo together with Speed sort of spamming out things, right? It was those two in concert working together that I think really held the game open for a long time.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like the mid game of Gyro Shard is so powerful. Especially if you get one of those missiles that like it's like running in, kills the guy that it was gonna hit, and then goes to another target. It's like, oh my god, you just did like 1,000 damage with a missile or something like that. It's bonkers. And I've been really encouraged by all the Lone Druid players today that have found really effective builds and ways to do damage through spells that would, if they didn't do that, their builds otherwise would be like really garbage because of the shit stacking and base stats that Lone Druid has to play with. But I don't know. As things have ended, yeah, the bear. Good at laning, but as the game went on, completely forgettable. It hasn't done anything other than probably feed 300 gold. He hasn't been able to put net worth into it, which is understandable because it wasn't going to scale anyway. So there was like good abilities as a whole on the Dire side, but they didn't really have too many combos. Whereas the Radiant squad definitely had like a couple cool builds. Like Nick's build was really solid considering Weaver. Speed's build was excellent, I thought. Scourge McDuck's build, definitely vulnerable pre 30 minutes, but excellent after that. Like really fucking good after that. So yeah, they definitely had more builds, or better builds.
I would give a shout out to Kapui. I think that the Grimstroke almost single-handedly won them the game and kept them in it in moments where it like looked like it was all gonna fall apart.
Yeah, I definitely undersold that in my speech just now, but you're definitely right. Grimstroke's build was really fucking good.
But I think that you're right that the sort of it was a bunch of really good ones coming from Radiant. I think probably like the worst build is I don't know what
On the
maybe
Radiance,
even Albino Zebra.
probably Albino Zebras he has good abilities, but it isn't really like much of a build. But it's a very solid support build.
And I think that like living armor alone for him was enough to like make it all worth it. Do they have enough to kill him? Speed just running. He's just out of there.
That's funny.
Oh god. Well, speaking of Albino Zebra, he tries to Glimmer Cape to get away, but they will eventually kill him.
Okay. Is the dragon coming? The dragon's coming.
Maybe a little afraid. Oh, they have Flicker now too. That's really nice. He has Moonshard. Okay.
Oh yeah. You can't even tell that he has Geminate anymore. It's just like, oh yeah, of course there's like 8 attacks in the air at all times.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. And none of his talents synergize with his base model, of course.
What are you talking
he's
about?
just getting
A
all
lot of
gold.
carries probably wish they had these talents.
Right?
Yeah.
I think he's gonna have the synth together too now. Yeah, bringing out the Aghanim Scepter. God, it's not much damage, but there's just so many hits, which is where, you know, this Frost Armor can be effective.
Yeah.
But it requires, but he can just hit anybody he wants. He doesn't have to go after the Frost Armor target.
Mm-hmm. They're doing a good job of reclaiming their Tricamp, though. They did this with this Observer Sentry combo. That was really nice to, like, instead of just retreating and losing their foothold, they still held the Tricamp area, and this gives them some space on the map to farm. Not that they're not stupid far behind or anything, but it definitely does at least a little bit to give them some advantage.
And I mean, with Eyes in the Forest too, it just means that anytime you try and move out, there's so much like extra knowledge about where they could be and stuff. Oh, missile. Tries to jump in with one. Capulli chasing one, and Little Nick, well, he gets caught and killed. Scorch McDuck
No
doesn't
ulti.
have ulti for a little bit. 3-2, jump in, finds him. Dude, this is the fight.
They gotta kill him.
They gotta win this one. The Hex is there and he's gone. Doesn't have buyback either. Oh, wait a minute now. Albino Zebra catches 5 with the overgrowth. There is no follow-up here at all. Do they have more? Nullifier out? Yeah, Albino Zebra's gonna die too.
Nice.
Dude, Roche is up. Oh,
All right.
they killed the Tinker though.
That's
Still,
okay. I mean, they can still rush with this for sure, right? And kill the tower, most importantly. This is finally no living armor. I mean, this is like one of the big reasons people pick Tree, and they correctly identified, like, oh shit, we can definitely delay the game by like 10 minutes getting this skill, which they did. But that fight, he didn't anticipate the Hex, basically. I mean, there are some disables on the enemy squad, but nothing instant, right? It was just like Orchid, right? If he gets Orchid, he presses BKB. But now they hit him with the Hex, and that's what they use to layer the disables and finally win a team fight. So Scourge not updating to the items quite as fast or anticipating the Hex to come. Maybe he just got too close, didn't have his ulti for like 4 seconds.
Little Nick, he doesn't get caught there. Need to be careful about the jump in, and oh my god, they got him with the Orchid. Oh no. Oh no.
The bear, no!
The bear goes down, and eventually Aegis in hand and Shard there. Any Shard takers?
Ice Spire on Tree.
Okay.
Guess he gets it. Let me check anyone else.
Yeah,
I think everyone
I'll say
else
they get
already
it.
has theirs. That guy's got
Interesting.
one. Warp Flare. They could have gotten a Warp Flare.
Flare.
What does that even do? Lowers cast range and attack range
Yeah,
reduction?
that's a weird one. It's like a weird Hurricane Pike, basically.
Yeah, nobody uses it.
No.
Anyways, Nullifier plus Bloodthorn on PA is going to make all their kills easier. I mean, they're breaking, basically. They're removing the tree armor. Pretty solid stuff.
Dude, where's the Witchbane? Why'd you get rid of it? Oh my god, that's so good against Lich. Oh, they need that Witchbane.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage. I'm thinking about the Dispel against Overgrowth, actually. It'd be
Yeah.
really good there, too. It's actually good in a lot of ways. I mean, Titan Silver's solid. Magic resistance is really good. But yeah, I kind of agree. The Witchbane would be really good this game. Like, almost everybody has huge mana on the Radiant squad. They actually all have... The minimum is like 1,500. So,
Dude,
it would have been a lot of magic damage per hit.
at least they get out and are going to get some tier 4 neutrals regardless.
Yeah, that's true.
4% of max mana. So how much is that? For 1,000, it's 40, and 80, 120 or 160.
What are you referring to?
The amount of damage from Witchbane, the 4% of your target's max mana. So
Yeah.
it's like,
It's 40 per every 1,000 mana. So if
Yeah.
they have 2,000 mana, it does 80 magic damage, which is quite a lot.
Yeah.
Plus having the Dispel. I mean, you could use it against, like, the let's say Dragonite hits you one time, and you want to debuff that for 5 seconds. But definitely Overgrowth is the big one. I mean, it's the big counter against Tree. Almost all carries will buy Manta, so that they don't have to worry about getting their BKBs wasted.
so can you tell me what you think about this idea that I have, if I'm thinking about this correctly or not?
Okay.
So the talent tree with this entire dynamic, in a way, like we look at Lich, for instance, right? It's just all gold the whole way through. But then you look at somebody like PA, and she has 4 different skills that are comboed together where she gets a bonus from it. Does that mean that like there's a lower cap on like how far the Lich can go? Because he doesn't get like all those bonuses that you do from your talents. Like his 6-slot timeout is like it hurts more than other heroes.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that it would come a little bit faster. But I mean that's like all mega ultra late stuff. Most of the times in ability draft you don't play for those ultra super late moments. Oh, there's actually a Hex on DK here. If he doesn't die.
The root. They got also control now on to Little Nick.
Oh, he jump Scourge.
Towards McDuck. Oh, the Satanic. They try and blow him up. The bash isn't enough. He's trying to get out of there, but they get to control the fear. Oh, the save. But the E-Blade is there, and that might be enough now. He can't lifesteal and regen off of it anymore. The
they have to kill him.
Away, though. Oh, they couldn't quite get him. And now he's going to have the Satanic back up again. The E-Blade actually comes back to haunt him.
That was incredible. What a save. I really thought that he was dead there. Great jump by the PA to target the guy that they needed to kill. I mean, he still hasn't bought any defensive items other than BKB here. So when he got on top of them, he's got Blur, of course, I suppose, 50% evasion. Hence why the Bloodthorn was so good. But he was able to get away just barely. And that's mostly because the Tinker and some of the other heroes got cleaned up fast. So good play from the Rats.
The Sinister Gaze at save at the last second was huge. Oh my god. And the crits. A couple of them come out. And now Roche exposed. I think that should do it. That was close for a while until Scourge McDuck came out of the jungle.
But I still gotta say, the Dire team did a really fucking good job to stabilize from what looked like a game that was just instantly over. The way that they controlled the tri-camp, I thought was crucial to getting them. Like, they never have that fight mid if they didn't control their tri-camp when they were down by like 20k gold. Then they got that nice fight mid, and yeah, they lost that last engagement there because the Radiant squad engaged really well, but it was a really good game, genuinely. That was fun.
It's a good one. You love to see it from start to finish.
I do too.